Hey everyone, it's Amber, and today I'm going to be reading negative reviews of my favorite books. This is a video that's been going around so much lately, and I got inspired to do it because of Katie over at Kate's Book Date, so I'll leave her video down below. So I also did a poll on Twitter of what books you guys wanted me to do this for, so I'm going to check that really quick. Okay, so this I feel like is going to be so long, so I'm just going to get straight into this. The first book that you guys voted for was A Court of Mist and Fury, which is one of my favorite books of all time. I'm very scared to see these reviews because I love this book so much, but let's try it. This book has like so many reviews and it has 0% 1-star ratings. So this is a really popular book. It has a 4.68 average rating, which is so high, and then it also has 200,000 ratings. It has over 200,000 ratings and 30,000 reviews, and of those only 1,731 are 1-star reviews. Okay, so the first one that I see, this is the most popular one. First of all, she has a problem with it being marked high fantasy. She said, "You've got to be kidding me. Brandon Sanderson and J.K. Rowling are somewhere sipping tea and laughing." Okay, first of all, Harry Potter is not high fantasy. I consider high fantasy like a medieval fantasy, I guess, like really intense, really political. I feel like Harry Potter is middle grade, so you can't really say that it's high fantasy. In my opinion, it's not. It's like urban fantasy because it's set in the real world, but you can have your own opinion on that. I'm not really sure of the exact definition of high fantasy, but I feel like this sort of qualifies. I kind of agree with saying that it's not fully high fantasy, because if Harry Potter isn't, then this I feel like isn't either. So I guess I agree with that part, but I don't think that's a reason to not like the book that it's marketed as a high fantasy. She said, "A court of blah blah is boring as hell," which I don't know what that means. And then it says, "Characters are infuriating and tiresome. They possess no unique or remarkable qualities." I don't get that. I feel like the characters in this book are very interesting. They're very, like, there's a lot of different types of characters. I don't know. Feyre's a little infuriating in the beginning. Not of this book, though. I don't know. I disagree with that. Then she said, "I think we all agree. It's just plain wrong if a middle-aged man tries to get into a teenager's pants. But it's all hotness if you stretch the age gap from decades to centuries." This, I think, is a funny concept because, like, with, like, Twilight and stuff, he's, like, way older than her technically. But with the Fae, like, they don't age. So technically, it's not like he's, like, super old. And, like, I mean, he is, but he's not, like, he doesn't look super old, and he's, I don't know, he's, like, frozen at a certain age. I don't know. Fairy logic, can it be just magical and not be gross? Oh, and she said, "Surely I can't be the only one who finds the term mate utterly ridiculous. I was dying laughing every time it was mentioned. I just couldn't take it seriously. Sorry, not sorry." I don't mind that term, like, for fairies, like, it's like a different world. There's different terms in different fantasy worlds, and that's the one for this book. I never had a problem with it personally. Okay, so this one says that they think that they tried too hard to make Reese funny and likable. It's like, you cannot ever match Will Herondale. I don't really agree with that. I feel like it worked to, like, reveal his character within, like, the book. I don't know. I don't know. I liked what she did with Reese personally. And then she said that, like, the smut scenes made her cringe and they were immature and hilarious. I read this book when I was a junior, I think, or senior in high school. So it'd be interesting for me to go back and read it now and see if I think that they're more immature now that I'm older. But I still enjoyed it when I reread it as a senior, and I still liked it then. Like, I liked all of the book. So now I'm gonna look at City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. This one, I started reading this when I was in, like, 8th grade. And this book means a lot to me because it kind of just reignited like my passion for reading. So I'm interested to see what people said, because probably if I went back and read it, I probably wouldn't like it as much as I do now because I read it when I was so young. But I am interested to see what people think. This one says, warning, won't contain spoilers because I didn't get far enough to discover anything worth spoiling. This person said, to be honest, I think 75% of the hype for this series comes from nostalgia, which I totally get. I think honestly, if you're older and you read this for the first time, you're probably gonna be like, why do people like this so much? I really agree that like nostalgia is what makes me still really love this series a lot, because I think if I reread it and didn't have that nostalgia, like I wouldn't like it as much. This person said that it's kind of like very similar to Harry Potter. They said like mundanes and muggles is really similar, which I can see that. And then they said Clary Frey is a slightly stupider version of Ginny Weasley. And Jace Wayland is essentially Draco Malfoy if everyone excused his actions because he's super hot. There's nothing very original or satisfying about this book. She borrowed very heavily from Buffy, Harry Potter, and Star Wars, and it sticks out like a sore thumb. Honestly, I did not see Buffy and I did not see Star Wars, but I saw Harry Potter. I understand that. This person didn't like the writing. She said that there was too many similes. This book was worse than okay. And then it has, please don't kill me, thanks, crossed out. I disliked basically every character except for Isabel. Some I hated more than others, cough, Jace. With Clary, it was obvious how both Simon and Jace liked her. It was a love triangle and I didn't really care about it. But I don't know, after a while it got annoying in a way. I agree with that. I didn't like that love triangle. I don't think it needed to really be there. But at first I shipped Simon and Clary, and then I shipped Jace and Clary, and then I wanted to ship Simon and Claire again, and I don't know what shipping is anymore. I really didn't like the writing style, and it kind of just was continuous, and the author just told you everything like you didn't know what the heck was happening, but suddenly stuff happened and bam, Jace and Claire survived another disaster. This person said, as it turns out, books that you used to like when you were 13 are in fact not very good. The last one I'm going to do is The Raven Boys, I think. This book, I'm expecting the first book to have some like pretty like juicy negative reviews. The first one I had to read twice, and then once you get into the rest of the series, you just get so sucked into it. But the first one, we'll see, because the first one is a little confusing, so I completely understand if people are gonna say that, but the writing is so good and like the characters are so rich and stuff, so I'm hoping that people liked that part of it. This book has a 4.06 average rating. It has 205,000 ratings, and then it has 24,000, almost 25,000 reviews. Okay, so two of them so far have said like it's not the book, it's them and like their taste, and they didn't really like it, but they said the book was good, they just didn't personally like it, so I can respect that. So this person said it finished it and still didn't like it, and now they said giving it another chance, got halfway through the book and had to stop, just couldn't get into it. If it was a shorter book, I would have finished it, but it's way too long to suffer through. A lot of people DNF'd it that gave it 1 star. So this person said that the book had a million underdeveloped subplots, which I really don't think that's true, because if you read the next couple books, they kind of develop those more. So I don't agree with that point. So then they said that they're tied up neatly at the end, but it's tied up so nicely that it doesn't work. What? Then they're complaining that everything in the book is about Gansey, even if it's not, it ends up being about him. Gansey's also my favorite character, so I'm probably a little biased. This one says, can we talk about the name Gansey for a second? Who names their kid Gansey? His name is not Gansey. His name is Richard Gansey. That is his last name. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it there. There are a lot of books that I could definitely do this for, so if you guys are interested in me doing this with some more books, definitely let me know, because I would love to do this again with more of my favorite books. Definitely leave them down below of any requests that you guys have for me to read reviews of. But sorry if this was all over the place, because I had to go find the reviews that I wanted to do when I was just like scrolling forever, so I really have no idea how long this is going to be. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Definitely let me know down below what other books you want me to do, and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and also please like this video because it really supports my channel. My name is Amber. I upload every Monday and Thursday, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!
Words that I say, downtown the lights out, but we